There are people who say the world is full of color, full of warmth, full of possibility. And then there are people who wake up to something drained, muted, like someone turned the saturation down on their entire life and lost the remote. Tonight's story isn't about Christmas. It isn't about romance. It's about what happens when brightness appears in a world that taught you to fear it. When color feels less like a gift and more like a warning. Welcome to Macabre Miscellanea, a curated collection of creepy curiosities. Tonight's tale, Orange. Turn down the lights. Let's begin.
I walk through the shopping district like I'm the only person who got the memo that joy is a communicable disease. Everything is black and white, literally. The street is lined with red and green, but I don't see it. The world has the drained, washed-out look of an old TV left on too long. Snow dusts the sidewalks. Storefronts are dressed up for Christmas with garlands and blinking lights that might as well be dead, because even the lights look like they've given up. I remember color, bright, loud, everywhere, before the accident, but that was a long, long time ago. I'm bundled so tight only my face shows, and no one would call it festive. Couples drift by in warm little clusters, heads pressed together, sharing breath like it's currency. A group of shoppers laughs over a hot drink, steam curling up around their cheeks. I watch them the way you watch people pet a wild animal. Part envy, part disbelief they think that's safe. A charity Santa bellows out a greeting.
Merry Christmas!
I don't even look at him. I keep moving. A homeless man near the curb holds out a paper cup.
Spare change?
I angle wide like his need might rub off on my coat. I arrive at Alley Cat Music and Video, the one place in town that still smells like plastic cases and dust and somebody's ancient nachos. The window is plastered with late 90s posters, new release movies, bands with bad hair and worse attitudes. Inside, it's warm, and the bell over the door gives a brittle little jingle that sounds like it's trying not to embarrass itself. Ashley's behind the counter counting the drawer. Blonde, pretty, and somehow always awake like she's plugged into the wall. She looks up when I come in.
Hey David, cold enough out there?
I stomp the snow off my shoes and don't answer. I peel off my gloves, unhook my scarf, and head for the back without looking at her. The storage area is behind a curtain that never quite hangs right, like the store itself has commitment issues. Ashley doesn't call after me. She never does. She's the kind of saint who files people's sharp edges down by quietly bleeding on them. I dump my coat, come back out, and stop at the counter. Ashley keeps counting like I'm a receipt she hasn't decided to throw away yet.
Okay,
She says, like she's been saving it up.
so I came up with this new color coding system. New releases are $15 and they're green like shamrocks. New regular CDs are $10 and they're yellow like stars. Used CDs are $5 and they're red like apples.
I feel my jaw tighten. It's a familiar sensation. My face trying to remember how to be patient and failing. I shake my head. First of all, I know what color things are. I wasn't always colorblind. I told you I could see colors as a kid. I tapped the counter with a fingertip. Second of all, I'm colorblind. How am I supposed to know what color the stickers are? Ashley blinks like I've just accused her of drowning puppies.
No, silly, I know that.
She reaches under the counter and pulls out a sheet of stickers. Even to me, they're just various pale circles in a gray world. But she points to the shapes printed on them.
I made them look like apples, stars, and shamrocks so you could tell them apart. See? I think about you.
The anger I'd been polishing for her slips right out of my hands and shatters on the floor. Shame fills the space where it was. I swallow it and stare at the sticker sheet like it's personally offended me by being thoughtful. I pick up the supplies she set out, sticker rolls, a price gun, a clipboard, turning away like that will hide the fact that my throat feels tight. I take a few steps, then stop. The word tastes like a foreign language. Thanks, I say. Ashley smiles, small and satisfied, like she just got a win she didn't even have to fight for. I head to the CD racks near the front window and start working. It's mindless in the best way. Pull, scan, sticker, shelve. Order in a world that looks like it's been erased and redrawn in pencil. Outside, people move past the window in soft gray silhouettes, bundled and bright in their own little plots. I look up now and then, watching them like a scientist watching lab rats choose the wrong lever on purpose. Then something flickers. A blur of color slips through the crowd outside, so wrong it makes my stomach drop. Orange. Not gray pretending to be orange, not some trick of winter light. Actual, vivid, impossible orange. A woman's hair, bright as a warning sign, slicing through the monochrome street. My hands stop. The sticker roll sags. My heart seems to forget what rhythm it's supposed to keep. I drop everything and bolt for the door. Outside, cold air hits me like a slap. I stand with the door still open behind me, eyes frantic, scanning left and right. Shoppers drift by, gray faces, gray coats, gray happiness. No orange. I step out another pace, craning, searching the flow of bodies for that one streak that shouldn't exist. Nothing.
David?
Ashley barks behind me and I turn. Sam rushes past me into the store, bundled up against the cold, oversized sunglasses on her face, which is weird, considering it's winter and the sun is barely doing its job. She slips behind the counter and shoves her purse under it. Ashley squares up like she's been waiting.
Sam, you're late! I asked you to be here at...
She stops mid-sentence. Her gaze locks on Sam's sunglasses. I'm already walking back in, pulled toward that same detail like a magnet. Ashley and I stare at Sam. Sam sighs like she's exhausted from living in her own life. She pulls off the glasses. A black eye blooms under one of her eyes, ugly and swollen, the kind of damage that isn't an accident no matter how you try to explain it. Ashley's face breaks. She rushes around the counter and wraps Sam in a hug.
Oh, honey.
Sam's shoulders hunch.
I provoked it this time.
She says, voice thin.
He just wanted to go on a beer run, and I hid his keys. I should have just let him go.
Ashley holds her tighter.
Don't you dare say that again. He has no right to lay a hand on you.
Something in me, something mean and self-protective, scrapes its way up. I laugh, a short, bitter sound. It's like Jerry Springer all the time with you two. This is why I keep to myself. I lean on the counter. Relationships are retarded. Love just opens the door to getting hurt. I learned that lesson young, watching my mother flinch and still smile anyway, watching her call it love while it bruised her. Love doesn't save you, it just makes sure you feel the blade when it goes in. Ashley turns her head slowly, her glare could strip paint.
You are not helping, David.
Her voice is sharp enough to draw blood.
You don't have a clue what you're talking about. You know nothing about love. You wouldn't know what to do with a woman if you ever did find one.
She opens the register, yanks out a 20, and slaps it on the counter like she's paying me to disappear.
Here,
She says.
go get us some coffee and take your time.
I snatch the bill. I'm already moving, already wanting out of the room with the hug and the bruise and the parts of life people call normal. At the door, I look back. Ashley's still holding Sam. Sam's eyes are down, like she's trying to hide inside her own skin. I shake my head, like I'm disappointed in them, like I'm above it. Then I leave. Outside again, the district looks like a postcard someone left out in the rain. I pass the same young couple I saw earlier, the ones huddled together at the window. They're arguing now, faces tight, hands gesturing, words I can't hear through the glass of my own detachment. I watch them for a beat, and in the corner of my vision, orange, a flash turning a corner. My breath catches, my feet move before I decide anything. I rush after it, rounding the corner like I'm chasing oxygen. Nothing. The street beyond is empty of miracles. I force myself to keep walking. The coffee shop is a block down, warm light spilling onto the sidewalk like something pretending to be inviting. Inside, holiday music plays overhead. Cheerful, relentless. The line is full of people who look like they belong in commercials. I stand behind them, annoyed at the very concept of waiting. The barista smiles when it's my turn.
Hi, how are you doing today?
I ignore him. Yeah, I say. Give me 3 large, black, sugar and creamers in a bag.
Excellent choice.
He says, still smiling like I haven't just talked to him like a vending machine.
Would you like to donate $1 to...
No. While I wait for the order, I scan the cafe. Tables of laughing people, couples leaning together, someone in a Santa hat taking selfies like their future depends on it. Then the tip jar catches my eye. A dollar bill sits inside it. In color, my body goes rigid. Sound drains away like somebody pulled a plug. The world narrows until it's just me and that bill, green and alive against the gray glass. My throat goes dry, my hands twitch. The barista's voice snaps the cafe back into existence.
Here you go, sir.
I blink hard. The music returns, the clatter of cups, human noise. I take the coffees, 2 in a cardboard carrier and 1 balanced like a threat, and my gaze slides back to the tip jar. The colored bill sits there like it's waiting for me. I reach in and take it. The barista calls after me, something about tips, about that's for the staff. But I'm already out the door, cold air hitting my face, the colored paper burning in my pocket like stolen fire. That night, my apartment looks like the inside of my head, small, empty, and cluttered with garbage I don't have the energy to deal with. Studio, kitchen table, futon folded into a bed, coffee table, TV with a game console, beer cans, pizza boxes, the smell of old grease and stale hops. I drop my coat and sit at the kitchen table like I'm about to perform surgery. I pull the dollar out and spread it flat. It's real. Green ink, tiny details. The face staring back at me is alive in a way the rest of my world isn't. On the end table, a framed photo catches my eye. A younger me, smiling, actually smiling, with my mother behind me. Her hands are on my shoulders, her face close to mine. I stare at the photo and my chest tightens in a way I hate. The memory comes anyway. Back then, the world is in color. The mid-'80s carnival is loud and bright. I'm 8 years old, small enough that adults tower, big enough to feel responsible for things I shouldn't be responsible for. My mother is 25 and wearing oversized sunglasses. She keeps scanning the crowd like she expects the air itself to hurt us.
Go ahead.
She says, ruffling my hair.
Get whatever you want, Pumpkin. It's your day.
I order a foot-long hot dog and an oversized soda, and as we walk away, I stop to stare at a balloon shaped like a bright orange cartoon character. My mother follows my gaze and without hesitation, buys it. She ties it to my wrist. I grin so hard my face hurts. Later, we're in our car on a country road. I'm finishing my drink, balloon bouncing lightly in the back seat.
Did you have fun at the carnival?
She asks. I nod like my head might fall off.
I'm glad.
Her voice softens.
It's been a while since I've seen you this happy.
The happiness drains out of me fast, like someone pulled a drain plug. I can feel her notice it.
Now, Pumpkin,
She says, trying to sound light.
I don't want you to get down. You're going to love our new place. It's really close to the ocean, and I bet you'll meet a bunch of new kids to play with.
She smiles in a way that looks practiced.
It will be like a whole new world. Just you and me.
I swallow.
Is Daddy going to meet us there?
Her hands tighten on the wheel. She goes quiet. After a moment, she takes off her sunglasses. A black eye. I stare at it, horrified and familiar all at once.
No, Pumpkin.
She says.
He won't. You don't have to worry about Daddy again. We'll be far away, and he won't be able to hurt either of us again.
She reaches over to ruffle my hair. I look up. Something on the road, something too close.
Look out!
A deer fills the windshield. My mother jerks the wheel to miss it. The crash is the loudest thing in the universe. The memory slams into the present like a door shutting. The next day I come back for one reason, to see if she's real, or if my brain is just inventing color the way it invents peace. I'm back in the coffee shop again, daytime, sitting in a booth alone, like I'm waiting for someone to deliver my sentence. The colored dollar is on the table in front of me. My coffee cup is empty. A muffin sits half-eaten. I keep looking between the door and the bill like one of them is going to explain the other. A busboy approaches. You done with this? I nod without looking away from the door. He clears my plates. You need anything else? I shake my head. He reaches toward the dollar bill. My hand snaps down over it, slapping the table hard enough to make him jump. He mutters something and leaves. I don't care. The bell over the cafe door rings, and she walks in. Orange hair, real orange, like flame, like the balloon, like something the world forgot how to make. She's entirely in color, not model pretty, attractive in a tired human way. Gap between her front teeth when she smiles, bags under her eyes like sleep is a rumor. Alone, like me, but she moves through the space like she belongs in it. I don't know her name, I don't know her story. That doesn't matter, because my brain is already writing one for her, and it's going to cast me as the ending. She smiles at the cashier. She looks genuinely happy, which is either brave or insane. I stare at her so hard I forget to blink. She orders coffee and a bag of muffins. The moment she picks them up, her cup is in color too. She drops a tip in the jar, another colored bill. Anything she touches turns vivid, like she carries pigment in her fingertips. My mouth actually tries to smile back at her. I catch myself and crush it immediately, like it's a bug I almost let crawl into my skin. She leaves. I follow. I don't even pretend I'm subtle. I'm a shadow with a pulse. I tell myself I'm just confirming she exists, like confirmation isn't the first step in a ritual. Outside, she moves down the same street I walked earlier, but it's like watching the world run in reverse. She glances at a couple outside a jewelry store with something like longing. She wishes a group of shoppers, Merry Christmas, and they grin back without knowing how rare that is. She smiles at the charity Santa and drops money into his kettle. She stops at the homeless man I avoided yesterday and hands him the bag of muffins like it's nothing. Like she has plenty. Like kindness isn't a finite resource. I trail her from a few steps back, heart beating too fast, mind racing too loud. She turns down another block and stops at a building with a sign I've never had reason to read. Crossroads Gentlemen's Club. She slips through an employees-only door. My feet stop. My stomach drops. Of course the universe doesn't hand you magic without slapping you for reaching. I stand there a moment, then move. I don't know what I'm doing, I just know I can't not. Inside, the club is dim, washed in gray light. There's a bar near the entrance, a stage in the center with a pole, and curtained booths along the opposite wall. A handful of customers sit at the bar nursing drinks with their backs to the stage like they're ashamed of having eyes. One man steps out of a curtained booth, adjusting his belt with the casualness of someone leaving a meeting. I pay the cover and take a seat away from the bar and the stage. I feel like I'm trespassing in somebody else's bad decision. A dancer in her mid-30s is on stage in a tight black dress pulled up enough to show a thong. She's sitting on a metal folding chair reading a magazine. When she notices me, she lazily starts spinning around the pole like her body is clocking in, but her soul called out sick. She beckons. I ignore her. Eventually she goes back to reading. Then the music changes. Slow, sultry rock. The backstage curtain shifts. And color blooms. The orange-haired woman steps onto the stage in black lingerie, her hair a bright, impossible flame in the gray room. A tattoo of a black-eyed Susan Vine climbs the right side of her torso. The men at the bar turn to look, then turn back to their drinks like she's just another part of the wallpaper. But for me, she's everything. I stand like I'm pulled by strings and walk to the stage. I sit close, hypnotized. She dances around the pole like she's making love to it, like the movement is the only language she's fluent in. She notices me, slides toward me, drops low on the stage and writhes in front of me for a moment, then rolls to face me. Close enough, I can see the tiredness in her eyes even under the club lights.
Hey,
She says, smiling, gap-toothed and real.
didn't I just see you at the coffee shop?
Yeah.
You live around here?
Yeah. She giggles.
Cool.
She turns to get up and her hair swishes across my face. Orange fills my vision, warm, consuming, and my mind does what it always does when it's offered a feeling it can't manage. It runs away into fantasy. The song keeps playing. And in the span of 3 minutes, my mind builds an entire life with her, because that's what it does when it's starving. In my head, it's night and everything is in color. I'm holding flowers outside her apartment door, hesitating like I'm capable of doubt. The door opens and she smiles and pulls me in. A restaurant. Laughter, flirting, she forces a bite of food into my mouth and I laugh like I'm a person who deserves to laugh. A house party. She drags me by the hand into a crowd and somehow I'm not a stranger in my own skin. A wedding chapel. I'm in a white tuxedo, waiting at the altar. She appears at the end of the aisle in a dress, smiling. A little girl with orange hair holds her train like this is normal. A delivery room. I'm holding her hand, nurses, a doctor, a baby. I lean down to kiss her head and the orange swallows me whole.
Hey, hello.
The real world snaps back like a rubber band. She's squatting on the stage inches from my face, still in color, the rest of the club gray.
You with me here?
She asks, waving a hand in front of my eyes.
I said, do you want a private dance? They're 2 for $25 before 6.
No, I say automatically, standing like I'm escaping a fire. Thank you. I take a step toward the exit. Then I stop. I turn back, and I force my face into something that might pass for friendly. On second thought, I say, I'd love one.
Cool.
She stands, smooth and practiced.
Meet you in booth 3.
The private dance booth is behind a curtain, small, with a love seat and a tiny end table. I sit stiffly in the middle of the couch like I'm waiting for a jury verdict. She enters, drops her purse on the table, and starts talking like we're on a normal date while she strips down to knee-high boots.
I'm glad you came in.
She says,
Days are so slow. Those guys at the bar are only here for happies.
She rolls her eyes.
I miss working nights. Can't get a sitter anymore.
She glances at me.
You got kids?
I shake my head.
Good.
She says, and the word lands heavy.
You don't want them.
I almost smile again. It's a reflex now. She does something human, and my face tries to remember what human looks like.
It's 25.
She says, and I hand over the money.
Okay, thanks.
She tilts her head.
All right, cowboy. Enjoy the ride.
The music starts, an 80s power ballad, and she moves, close, confident, mechanical and intimate in the way only someone working can make it. And as she dances, something impossible happens. Color creeps into me. It starts small, my hands, my arms, like pigment seeping into paper. I stare at my own skin in disbelief as it warms into life. I look down at my forearm like I'm seeing it for the first time. She turns her back and grinds on my lap. I lean back and stare at the ceiling, breathing like I'm underwater. Bliss, pure, stupid, chemical bliss, floods my chest. You're amazing, I hear myself say, voice thick. I've never felt like this. She keeps her back to me and reaches into her boot. She pulls out a condom and rubs it down my cheek like she's petting a dog.
You're cute,
she murmurs.
I don't normally do this, but I like you.
A pause, then the hook slides in.
We can spend a little more time together back in the VIP room. It's only 200.
It's a performance beat, sweetness on command, intimacy rented by the minute. Koi is just another outfit. The bliss drops out of me like a trapdoor opening. My face goes flat. The color starts bleeding away, and I can feel it, like warmth leaving the room. My mind lurches, back into fantasy, but not the sweet kind. In my head, everything is in color again, and I'm pacing my kitchen in the dark, peeking through the blinds like a paranoid animal. Headlights sweep the wall. Outside, she stumbles out of a pickup truck, drunk, kissing the driver. In my kitchen, I shatter a glass on the floor. Another scene, daytime, me screaming at someone who isn't there. She walks in wearing sunglasses, carrying a suitcase. I get in her face, point toward the door. She lifts her sunglasses and there's a black eye. She mouths, "I love you," before she leaves. I throw a glass at her as she exits. Then the worst memory folds in like a blade sliding back into its sheath. My mother's car wrapped around a tree, a branch through the windshield, through her throat. She's alive, pawing at it, choking, eyes wide. I'm bloodied but conscious, trying to pull it out, desperate, useless. Then she stops me, motions for me to stop. She looks at me with love so fierce it hurts. She mouths, "I love you." No sound comes out. There's nowhere for sound to come from. She smiles and dies. I hug her and rage pours out of me with nowhere to go. When I finally let go, my orange balloon slips free and floats into the sky. Still bright, still colored, while the world turns gray around it. The fantasy collapses. I'm back in the booth. The orange-haired woman's head is still in color in front of me. The room is gray. I am gray. She turns her head slightly, lips close to my ear, voice soft as a lullaby.
If you think you're feeling good now,
she whispers,
you won't believe how I'll make you feel later. It'll be like a whole new world. Just you and me.
My lungs empty in a slow sigh. I've already loved her, lost her, forgiven her, hated her. Already lived the whole relationship before the chorus even ends. I lean close and whisper back, calm as a confession. I won't give you the chance. My hands slide up her body, gentle, familiar. Like I've done this in dreams 1,000 times. My fingers find her neck, and then I grab her head and snap. The motion is quick, clean, horribly practiced in the part of my brain that's been rehearsing endings since I was 8. Her body goes slack, and the color drains out of her like someone pulled the plug on the universe. Orange hair turns dull, skin becomes gray, the miracle dies in my hands. I lower her onto the couch carefully, like I'm tucking her in. I kiss her hair, colorless now, ordinary. It's better this way, I say. The words come out steady, not triumphant, not even sad, just certain. I sit for a moment, breathing, letting the gray settle back over everything like dust. Then I stand, straighten my clothes, and step out of the booth, closing the curtain behind me. Out here, nobody tracks anybody. Cheap clubs don't do accountability, they do volume. A girl taking a smoke break between dances isn't suspicious, it's normal. I walk out of the club calmly, bundling up against the cold like a man preparing for weather, not consequences. Outside, the street is still a holiday postcard in black and white. Down the sidewalk, cheerful groups move together, laughing and clinging to each other like they don't know what hands can do. I pass them as a lone figure in the gray, moving through a world that will never make sense again, if it ever did. And the bells keep ringing.
And that was Orange. Not every miracle is meant to be touched. Sometimes the brightest thing in the room is only a mirror, showing you what you've already broken. And sometimes the safest way to avoid becoming your father is to become something worse. If you enjoyed tonight's story, subscribe for more, leave a like, and share it with someone who appreciates the darker things. New original horrors arrive every week. Until next time, remember, if the world finally shows you color, don't squeeze it too tight.